How do you handle more than you can handle? Hello, I'm Eddie Lawrence. Here's today's devotional thought. We're in Mark chapter 6, verse 34 and following. Jesus and his disciples, he had told them, hey, you've been out on this ministry tour. You need to take a break. Get to a deserted place and rest a while. So he goes with them. And when they arrive at that place, guess what? The multitude had arrived there ahead of them, figured out where they were going and beat them there. And it says, when Jesus looked upon the multitude, he was moved with compassion, and he began to teach them. Now, this sets the stage for the feeding of the 5,000. But I want us to drill down today on what unfolds here and draw some principles for that to help us to handle life when we already have more than we can handle. Because that's the situation. The disciples were exhausted. They were spent. They had been on this ministry tour to the villages. And now they were getting away for a break and get some rest. But that didn't happen. Why? Jesus was moved with compassion. He, even though he was probably looking forward to time away with his disciples, a step aside, if you will, when he saw those people, he was moved by the love of the Father. And we don't need to let anything going on in our life cause us to vacate the place of love. Jesus was moved with this compassion, and he began to teach them. So we too have to be willing to share with others what we carry. There are people who need to hear your story. There are people who want to receive what you carry. Jesus understood this. They were there to hear from him. So he chose to share with them. He began to teach them. But he also recognized they had physical needs. That the day grew long and they were hungry. So he began to ask his disciples about feeding them. And the disciples brought what they could round up, which was very little. Jesus got them together. They prayed over it, and Father multiplied it and did a miracle for everyone that was there that day. God did something great. Sometimes in life, when we're dealing with things that's greater than we can handle, the Lord may present you with an opportunity to give away the very thing you need. And there's a principle there. When you sow, you're going to reap. And by being willing to pour into someone else, you position your heart for heaven to pour into you, or the Lord to lead someone to you to pour into you. Jesus also invited his disciples. He listened to them. He asked them questions. How can we feed these people? And then when they collectively did what they could do, and they prayed and asked God to do what they couldn't do, we learned from this to involve other people in our life when we're dealing with things, and ask them, how do you think we can handle this? And take this with you too. When you can take what little you may have when you're trying to pour into someone's life, if you'll bring that to the table and then get them to agree with you and join with you and ask God to begin to move into what you've made available, God's grace can come and multiply it, and miraculous things can happen. There's some principles here that can help us all to have a shepherd's heart. Jesus looked at them as sheep without a shepherd. And sometimes when we're dealing with stuff and like, oh no, one more person, we need to realize what that person really is. They're really looking for Jesus. They're looking for the shepherd of their soul. And that may be the platform for us to share with them what we can share and bring to the table what we can bring. And then watch God partner with us and do what we can do. Amen. God bless you. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I'm getting a little wet here in the rain. So I hope you have a blessed day. Please pass this on to other folks. I really appreciate that. Anytime you like, comment, subscribe if you're watching it on YouTube. Bless you all. Thank you.